Hello, world. I'm trapped in this room. Ew. Oh my god, this looks so pasty and terrible. Alright, maybe if I move this back here, no one can see me. Hello, world. I just got an MRI. So, apologies for the delay. A little late because I had to get an MRI for this lump under my skin. But the point is, they made me wear a hat thing for it, like a hospital hat, and now I have this mark here. I just got home, but it was fun. At least I've never gotten an MRI before, and you just sort of go in, and you're laying down, and then excuse me, heavens, you're laying down, and then it's just beep beep boop 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 boop. The machine makes a lot of noises for like an hour and a half, or at least that's how long it was for me. But I just kind of tried to nap. It was not bad, honestly. It was nice. Anyway, today we are talking about Brooklyn Candle Studios candles, which I love. They basically on Verishop they have two different types. So unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of these are sold out, which isn't great. But I'm just gonna put them up and talk about them, so at least you can get an idea of what the different fragrances are all about. So there's two different styles. This one says Brooklyn. Okay. There's two different styles. There's this kind, which is comes in this sort of very giftable gift box. They're both pretty gifty, but this is it slides apart like that. And then it's got a glass candle with two wicks, which is great. And just, oh man, this smells so good. This one my favorite. My favorites keep changing. So that's one type, and then this is the other option. It comes in, I guess, more of a traditional box like this, and then the candle has one wick, and it's matte black, and it has this nice textured parchment label on the front, versus the other one is more of a printed onto the glass type thing, like a silicone stamp or something. So I'm gonna go through the white ones first with the two wicks, and then we'll go over those matte black ones afterwards. So there's four fragrances here: Brooklyn, Santorini, Maui, Santa Fe, and wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, that's it. Brooklyn, Santorini, Maui, Santa Fe. That's 4. So. And they're each quite distinct, which I feel like it's hard to get a description from just reading about it online. I think when someone can kind of talk you through what they're smelling, it's really helpful. So that's what I was going to try to do right now. And each of them, there's 4, and they're pretty distinct. So it's pretty easy to sort of decide. It's not the craziest decision to figure out what you want based on the season, based on what you want your house to smell like, what you want the vibe to be. So I'm going to start with the Brooklyn. The Brooklyn is the most traditional smelling and the most perfumey. It's definitely complex. It's layered. There's lots of different fragrances in here. It's a little bit powdery, like that little bit of that powdery perfume kind of smell. Whereas some of the other ones, like the Maui, is very wet, so it's a little bit drier. But also, don't forget, I think these are an extra 15% off because they're on sale right now. So take advantage of this, because normally these are 38, and right now it's 32.30. So take advantage of that. And you know what? I haven't been single for a long time, unfortunately or fortunately, but being single can be a lot of fun, as we all know. I think, especially when you give yourself the freedom to sort of spoil yourself a little bit, because when you're not single, it feels a little bit more like, okay, I should sort of consider these purchases with my partner and stuff, or partners. But when you're single, especially during singles week, like which it is now, it's a good time to sort of just indulge, treat yourself. And I think a candle is a really nice way to do that. I've been lighting candles a lot lately around my home, and it just feels so luxurious and expensive, and it just like it adds to like the just like the general relaxing good vibes of the place. I'm kind of like, oh, am I in a hotel? Is this a spa? It just feels like elevated. It feels like a different sort of experience versus just like, you know, not having candles and just smelling like, I don't know, food or compost or whatever. Anyway, so the Brooklyn is the most like sort of perfumey, expensive house smelling one. Definitely smells like a rich house. So if you're going for rich house, go with the Brooklyn. Let's see, what else is there in here? If you're going for fresh, fruity, woodsy vibes, the Santa Fe is like piney, very coniferous, which I would say this is really good for the holidays. I don't know if I would, well, you know what? If you wanted like a fresh piney sort of smell, you could do this in the summer. You could do this all year round. But when I smell it, I gotta be honest, I do think like, okay, holidays, it's totally coniferous. I'm getting like, in addition to the woodsy pine notes, I'm also getting some like fruity things happening. Like, so the top notes are orchid, cactus, and pinon. Middle is Palo Santo and spruce. The base is wood smoke, sage, and cedar. That's all pretty accurate. It's mostly like nice Christmas tree, but it's also like it's a bright, fresh Christmas tree. This isn't like super smoky, heavy, oaky, old pine. This is like fresh. You just cut down a brand new Christmas tree, you brought it into your house, and it has that really like bright, piney smell of being like holiday ready, but also fresh and bright, not just like deep, like woodsy, like, but it is woodsy, but it's bright. Anyway, so that's a great one to set the mood for the holidays. Like, I'm excited. I think my mom is going to be visiting this week, and I'm going to burn this candle maybe halfway through the week just to be like, okay, reset. We're getting into holiday time now. So just to recap so far, you've got kind of perfumey, expensive house. Then you've got Christmassy, holiday-y, coniferous, but bright. And then you've got Maui, which to me, Maui is like all summer. This is like such a bright summer candle. So like if you want to either relive the summer or pretend like it's still summer and set like a summer vibe in your house, this is great for that. It's like rainforest, it's wet, it's a little bit fruity. It's like thirst quenching kinda. It's got lang lang, sea salt, bergamot, sea moss, and driftwood, which I don't know. Most of those things I think to the average person doesn't tell you exactly what this is really gonna smell like. So how I would understand it, if coming from a layperson to another layperson, I would say a little bit soapy, definitely rainforesty, definitely wet, and a little bit juicy, but very like summer specific. So like if you want like fun party girl summer smell, that's what this is. I feel like I would stick to burning this in the summer or the spring. In fact, this is really good for the spring because like as you're getting excited for summer, you're like getting amped up with this fragrance for sure. Like if you're gonna have like a kickoff party, like a summer kickoff party in late spring, early summer, that is the candle to burn to set the mood. Okay, so that is. Oh, sorry. Okay, I was presenting the the Santa Fe before. Then we moved on to the Maui, which I just described. Very summery, wet, rainforest, a little bit fruity, very humid, but really nice. And then we've got the. Hey, wait, where do I have the Santorini in here? I don't see it. Oh, maybe it's sold out. Anyway, the Santorini is like. It's the last of the two wicked white candles, but this is just full on fig. And to me, fig smells really like refined and luxurious. This smells like a really like, high-end expensive store. So, and you get a little my favorite candle from them. Rich scent. So Santorini is like, you know, Greece, figs from there, whatever. You get it. But if you want a really nice fig smell, this is the one. And I don't really know any other way to describe fig. If you're not familiar with fig, it's just sort of like it's like an overdose of like it's an overdose of like a well-rounded, deep sort of fruit scent, but not bright and like not bright and top note fruity. It's sort of like almost like fruit turning into a liquor, a liqueur, and 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 wet. And yeah, because I guess most fruit smells are gonna be kind of wet, but I don't know. There's a richness to it, you know. So it's kind of hard to describe, but once you smell it, you know what fig is. Anyway, probably my favorite scent, my favorite fragrance from Brooklyn Candle Co. is the Santorini. I love that so much. I always burn this in the guest bathroom because I just think it smells like so très riche, really nice. So that Santorini. Okay, so just to recap, Santorini. Very fig, smells very expensive. Maui is very summer, rainforest, wet, tropical vibes. Santa Fe is very holiday, coniferous, piney, but bright, fresh pine. And then Brooklyn is a little bit more powdery, dry, and perfumey, but like there's a lot happening in here. It's like definitely more nuanced than the others, or it's definitely more complex than the others. There's a lot of fragrance happening in this. As with like most perfumes, you know, there's like it's a lot of different hits in there, but definitely smells expensive. So if you're going for like nice Brooklyn brownstone, that is a nice mature fragrance. Yeah, that's another good word for it. It is very mature. Then we've got the Neroli, which I think I actually burned all of them. I have one right here. But the Neroli is like it's a little bit woodsy, smoky with like obviously the neroli has like the orange oil in it, but it's surprisingly not very orange to me. I don't get a huge hit of that orange fragrance. I do get more orange in some of these other ones. Enoki. You know what? I have this Santal one, but I started burning it, and once you start burning them, it's a little bit tough to like get an accurate read for the fragrance because you smell the like burnt wick a little bit, you know, when it's not lit still. So now I can't open this one. Sorry. I need something to get in there with to like open this without destroying it. Okay, there we go. So, yeah. So now these ones are, I think the black candles, these ones that come in the matte black, one, they're beautiful. I mean, you've got two options basically, like a really nice classic white candle in a clear glass container vessel, which is like beautiful for like a light, bright aesthetic. And then these are really great if you want like a matte black touch, which I love. I think these are just like so beautiful. Totally opaque vessel, you can't see through it, and then it's got the nice milky wax, and it's like these are single wick, so a little bit less powerful fragrancing wise. For like filling the room with fragrance, that's what I like about the double wick ones a lot. They are, I think they're like just a couple bucks more expensive, but they do have two wicks. So, and they both last for a long, long time, but the double wicks kind of like gets more fragrance happening into the air. It melts more of the wax, and then you've got a lot more fragrance going into the air. So I do appreciate that about the white candles. But these ones are nice because they're a little bit less one note. I mean, not that the other ones are one note, but like as I was able to describe them each at, somewhat succinctly, and because they have very specific. Sorry, they have very distinct, specific fragrances. Whereas these ones are a little bit more like complex. They're all a little bit more perfumey in the sense that they're like layered with a lot of different notes in there, so they're hard to describe. Okay, so the Hinoki. Okay, so the Hinoki is soapy with a little bit of orange, but a nice clean complexity to it. Santal is a bit woodsy. It's both a little bit wet and a little bit dry, so you get a little bit of that wetness fragrance and a little bit of like the powderiness to it. But they're both like just really nice, completely benign, like they'll work with anything kind of, you can just burn these any room, any time of the year. And they'll just do a nice, gentle, subtle job fragrancing the room. Whereas the white candles are a bit more like intense with their fragrance. But I don't know. I love them all. Don't forget to trim your wicks. They give you lots of extra wick length on all of these candles. Especially, I was noticing some of the double wick ones are like curling over. They have so much extra wick. So just trim them down to like 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch even, because they always sort of bloom up into this little mushroom thing. So I like to trim them extra short so that I have a little bit more time before that little bloom happens, and then it starts making some smoke. I don't know if there's a way around it. Maybe wooden wicks, but I don't know. I haven't really had much experience with that. Anyway, these are all the Brooklyn Candle Studio candles. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Okay, let me present this on tall. And again, these are really good prices. $23.80 for a really nice candle. That's a pretty good deal. $35 for a candle that's made in the U.S. With like premium materials and made in Brooklyn specifically. I think these are made in Brooklyn, maybe. Brooklyn, yeah. Anyway, so those are all of our Brooklyn Candle Studio candles. I'm not sure what else to say about them. I just really like them. I think that they're a really nice quality, high value candle because they're like premium fragrances, and fragrancing is expensive. The wax is expensive. The vessels are expensive. And so that they can do all of that, and now it's on sale for $23.80 for a candle that's gonna last as long as this will is like, I think it's a pretty good deal. So I don't know. I would check them out and I would grab them while they're here. Okay, I'm gonna come back, you guys. I have another live stream in 10 minutes, actually, at 2 o'clock. So I'll be back for that one, and I've got like all the luxury goods and things that I got from Verishop that I love, and I'm really excited to show you all those. So come back then.